Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching in the world. Welcome along to One Hub Racing, season number 14 and round number 8, which takes us to the French Grand Prix and the circuit Paul Ricard. My name is Kieran McGinley, and joining me in the commentary box is Jamie Metcalf. Jamie, how are you tonight?
I'm alright, yeah, I'm good.
And of course, now comes the part of the season, Jamie, where driver replacements and driver transfers have occurred. Some pretty good, some not so good. I wonder if you can give us a run through of who's gone where.
Yeah, so got a few changes. Our champion contender, Nexus Legend, he's moved to Red Bull, who's replaced Minty, who got dismissed by the team for some not good results. So that's a good lineup, him and James Slater. That could be interesting. Also at McLaren, Minty got replaced by Skivan, and so Ollie and Skivan, that could be a really good partnership. And Minty and Bag of Bones, who Skivan replaced, are now at Haas. And also we've had a switch where Leroy has moved to Racing Point.
So all over the place then, especially if you're a Racing Point driver. Anyway, it would be great if we can get them into the lobby walk, of course, about 15 minutes before the race gets underway, or at least qualifying gets underway. We have the lobby walk, so we invite drivers in, have a chat with them, quick fire questions, and see how they get on. And what I'd love, Jamie, is to see how many we can get who have been driver transferred, those that have been dismissed by the team, as you say, and those have been signed by a new team.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Obviously, one guy wasn't too happy with his dismissal, but we'll leave that to be that, and we'll see any of these guys. Most of the guys that took it quite well, especially the guys that lost 6 took it quite well, so that's good to see. And it's just it's an interesting thing. It's a trial this season. I think in the end it went down quite well this week. I got it all done by the start of this week, so it's quite an efficient system and it worked quite well. And we're having a review after round 14 of Italy, the end of the European season, where we have our second mid-season break.
And one of the rumours that was going around during this driver transfer window was regarding another Renault car. It was actually unknown, so he was an experienced driver who was struggling in the higher tiers, and he was hoping his return would sort of kick-start him. Did he keep his seat, Jamie?
Yeah, just about. Well, final warning for him, I think.
And of course, you're close with Cyril in terms of picking which seat goes where for the Renault team. Just how close was it?
Probably, if it was one more race, a bad race, probably would have lost it.
So, walking on eggshells would be an understatement for Unknown, so he's got to get those performances in. We're joined by one of the movers about. It's Leroy. Leroy, how are you tonight?
I'm good, thank you.
So you've obviously got a transfer under your belt now. How do you feel about your new team?
Well, obviously it was like, and I'm happy to run this once I hope, well, I can do well under them, and I hope, well, I can achieve their season goals.
Yeah, and of course, new team, new ambitions. Do the team's new ambitions match yours?
Yes.
I guess you wouldn't have signed for them otherwise. How about the French Grand Prix then? Obviously, it's one of those tracks where it's like Marmite. You either like it or you hate it. How about you, Leroy? What's your feelings going into the French Grand Prix?
I like the track.
Fair enough.
I'm hoping for a decent finish.
Any corners in particular? Any sectors in particular you like?
Any sectors in particular? Sector I hate is Sector 3. And apart from that, I don't want to do Sector. Sector 3 is a nightmare.
Well, that's a fair point. I'm just having a look at the table right now. 10th place in the standings, 18 points next to your name, but a podium as well. So, do you think you can keep that run going with your new team?
Well, honestly, we hope. I think Monaco's not been lucky a bit or any incidents.
Well, thank you for talking to us, Leroy. Good luck with your new team, and good luck for the French Grand Prix. And next in the lobby walk we have Rob Forbes. Rob, how are you tonight?
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well. Hopefully your party share settings are okay so we can actually hear you. Fingers crossed. Okay, perfect. So is it Forbes? Have I got that right?
Yeah, you got it right.
There you go, Jamie. I got it right.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the league. Of course, remind me, Jamie, who's Rob racing for?
He's racing for Mercedes. He joined. I think he joined around Spain. Oh yeah, Canada. Yeah, he's joined Canada. Yeah, with a few. He played Dainstar, I believe.
This is why I'm meeting you for the first time. I wasn't here last round. That's why. So a big welcome from me. Anyway, Mercedes. That's huge pressure on your shoulders. They're a team with mighty and lofty ambitions. Do you think you can match them?
Yeah. I mean, the car feels good, and I've got good pace. I was on for a strong finish before having an instant last race, and I hope I can carry that form over to here.
Yeah, and talking of the French Grand Prix, we heard Leroy say he likes the track apart from Sector 3. How about you? Any particular feelings about this track?
I don't mind it. I don't think I've got the setup right, but it's an okay track, and it shouldn't be too bad.
And when we talk about mid-season drivers, obviously sometimes they make a huge impact mid-season and teams are wanting to sign them up for next season. What are your ambitions for this season as a mid-season driver?
I think just to get a few good finishes and do decent in the points.
Well, perfect. I forgot to let Jamie ask a question to Leroy last time round, so I'll let him ask 2 questions to Rob if he really wants to.
Paul Ricard, sort of a newish track to the F1 games in this game. What do you think about this track? Is it a track you quite like? It's very love-hate, I've noticed.
The first corner's a bit hard to get right, but if you nail it, it's good. Yeah,
and obviously there's a lot of DRS is quite powerful down that end of start of sector 2, so expect to see a few overtakes into the hairpin, into the chicane, sorry, I believe. Yeah.
Well, Rob, thank you for talking to us. Good luck in your second race. Hopefully get some points on the board for Mercedes. Good luck.
Cheers.
And have we got anyone else? I didn't see anybody else enter.
Bye, lads, have a good day.
Take care, Rob. Good luck out there.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, good luck.
Cheers.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody walk in. No one else has walked in just yet.
Legend, and obviously he's got that big promotion to the Red Bull team.
Yes, absolutely. And obviously, when it comes to drivers to watch, I'm going to say watch out for drivers like Skeeven. They'll be eager to make an impact and make a mark as they're a mid-season driver coming in, replacing another driver. It's always big pressure on your shoulders here. We've also got Janul, I believe, is a new driver. I haven't seen him before in
he started in Monaco, I believe, and raced in Canada. He hasn't really hit true form yet, so I expect to see him doing quite well today.
Yeah, let's hope so. Obviously, we've spoken to Rob Forbes. He's actually teaming up with Z3 for this one. That could be an interesting partnership between the two of them.
Yeah, obviously 2 newish drivers at quite a big team, so that'd be interesting how that goes. Obviously, we think that we don't know their true pace yet, so we show them. But Rob did show quite well in Canada for his instant, so we'll see how he does tonight.
Yeah, and Foxy Dude is one I haven't come across before, racing in the Ferrari.
Yeah, he was a last-minute draft in. He joined tonight as Dainstar did lead the league, so Dainstar will not be racing with us anymore this season. So yeah, obviously a new driver, short notice. Have they done much practice? That's what we need to find out.
Yeah, and with a team like Ferrari as well, it's straight into the deep end.
Yeah, pressure's on, definitely.
So if we can get another couple of drivers in, maybe one more driver in, that'd be great. But Jamie, just a word from you. Obviously you've driven around France before, you've had your feelings, so what do you think about this track?
Well, I've driven on this game, but on the old game I quite enjoyed it. It was a track where I had pretty strong pace, but in the only one who raced around here, unfortunately at the first lap I got wind damage, and it's that sort of wind damage where you come in the pits it doesn't get replaced. So I had a compromised race, but I do like this track. It does offer good overtake opportunities, but there is one issue around here. It's very easy to get them corner cut warnings, so I expect to see quite a few penalties tonight.
And it is an awkward turn 1 on lap 1. What's the trick for getting through there in one piece, Jamie?
Oh, just pray, I think. I mean, that's obviously we've seen in the past, because with the wake of flowing other cars down that straight turn 1, it's quite easy to get caught in the slipstream and sort of rear end somebody. So I think a bit of caution's maybe in order for the race tonight, and fight for another day, because this is a track where you can overtake on. This track is one of the few tracks where it's better in the game in real life, I think. In real life, you don't tend to see the close racing that you see on the game. So yeah, I think we could have a good race tonight.
And hopefully you'll be joining us along as well. 18 drivers here tonight. Pretty good turnout for the French Grand Prix, it has to be said.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Obviously, we did have a few issues with drivers early in the season, but I think now we've got a pretty committed bunch going forward, and these new drivers, they've added something, they've definitely added the competitiveness, and it's a lot more competitive at the front than it was at the start of the season.
And let's hope we can keep that good run going. 19 drivers now, great stuff. So we're in for a good one. Ron Lyon, who hasn't got a car yet.
He should be in the Toro Rosso, I think.
Toro Rosso there. So we're actually, if I can select the team and driver, the only team we're missing at the moment then is the second Racing Point car alongside Leroy. So who would that be?
That'll be, let's go on the standings. No, that is our online. Sorry, that is our online.
Okay, so
we're missing Dan.
Newtonian. Yes, okay. So hopefully he will be starting tonight. Maybe not. I have been really impressed though with the combination of Leon and Praga. What about you, Jamie?
Yeah, it has been very good. Obviously, Praga recently, his form's dropped off, but you have to say he had the race win in what track was it? Baku, and was it Baku? He win the race, got the penalty. Can't remember what track it was, but he's due race win, and maybe tonight could be the night for him. But I can see 5 or 6 people in this race tonight, so it's not going to be easy. It's then Williams boys, they're looking to extend their lead, but now Red Bull looks stronger, Ferrari looks stronger in the lineup, and obviously Racing Point have lost their main man, but he's at Red Bull now, and Red Bull are a bit behind, but still plenty of races to go. And McLaren now, Lee feels like a teammate that can get points alongside him, so maybe McLaren can push themselves up there. So this constructors battle is quite good for Williams at the moment, but still a long way to go.
Absolutely, and obviously I think we're just about ready to go. Only less than a minute before we hopefully will start the countdown. Are there any drivers here tonight, Jamie, that could, to you, cause a little bit of an upset?
I think in Monaco, Jonas Ulbricht shows really good pace, and he tends to be better in the race than qualifying. So if Jonas, if he fancies qualifying in like 11th or 12th place, he could really gain his place in the race. And he hasn't got a podium yet this season. Even was Slater amazingly. He's had 5 top 5 finishes this season, not a single podium. So James Slater will be looking to get off the mark tonight. They're 2 guys I'm going to look out for tonight.
So they're the 2 drivers that you need to watch then, all at home. So the Williams are leading the way in the Constructors' Championship. Who realistically, Jamie, which team could really challenge Williams for that coveted first place in the Constructors now?
I think the main 2 I'm looking at are Ferrari and McLaren. I think they're the 2 I'm looking at. Ferrari have got a pretty good position, but they have lost a driver, and when you got a new driver in there, you don't know how he's going to adapt. But what I've seen of Foxy, he just look a pretty quick driver, so maybe they can stay in there. And McLaren now, Ollie and Skivan, they've got a pretty good reputation, I believe, and they could be up there. But yeah, Red Bull, they're dark horses. James Slater and Legend, they're good drivers, but I fancy them over 3 ahead of them.
So there you have it, and that's pretty much our Well, that's pretty much our build-up all done, Jamie. Well done. I have to say, the rust has well and truly gone now. We can go and really enjoy ourselves for this French Grand Prix, and hopefully you will enjoy it at home as well. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. We go racing pretty much every Friday night. If it's Friday night, chances are we're on. For the next 12-13 weeks anyway, we'll be live on a Friday night. And don't forget, there are 4 tiers. So this is the Pinnacle Tier. Of course, we've got the Prestige tier later on tonight. Lobby starts at around 9:30. But hopefully you'll stay with us for the entire Pinnacle tier. Let's hope so. Anyway, fingers crossed. Make sure you're also following the league on Twitter. It's at OneHub Racing. And make sure you follow me whilst you're there as well. It's at KSMCGF1. And you can also follow Jamie on Twitter as well. It's at JamieMet92. But we're jumping into the circuit Port Ricard. Jamie, any fond memories of the French Grand Prix?
More Magna Cum memories. I remember the 1999 race where Heinz Held Frentzen won in Jordan in the wet, and obviously that race where Michael Schumacher did a 4-stop, obviously because Magna Cum was an extremely short pit lane. They're my 2 memories of Magna Cum. And also the finger David Coulthard gave to Schumacher one year. They're my more Magna Cum than Paul Ricard, I'm afraid. But
in the words of Murray Walker, I'm sure he said, "I'm finishing first," wasn't he?
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
yeah, that one, yeah. 2000, I think it was, yeah.
What's interesting as well is that OneHub's now coming here, as you just saw at the final corner there, with that new pit lane. So it's the first time in OneHub that the drivers are going to be using this new pit lane that's been put in this game. So no more will you have to turn at a right angle on the start-finish straight. There is actually a pit lane entrance now.
And that will add time to the pit stops, so that will make the one stop, which was the quickest structure anyway, that make the one stop even more overpowered in my view.
Overpowered? Well. Anyway, Minty said he's going out there the first time with no traction control. That's a pretty brave decision around a track like this, to have no traction control at all. Leon in the chat then didn't see the party invite until just now, but hopefully join next week if he gets an invite. Well, if we like you that much, Leon, we will. Wink, wink. Yeah. And Matthias says, I hope I pronounced that right, says hi in the chat. So hello to you, Matthias. Welcome along to the stream. Of course, if you want a comment, please do. We try and do read all comments. Qualifying is the time to do it, because we'll actually look down and see the comments. Not necessarily the race, Jamie. We might have our hands a bit full for that one.
No, yeah, especially with 19 drivers, and we'll probably our best chance of the season so far. We had 18 for Canada, so these turnouts, they're getting good. It's good to see, and maybe next time we get all 20 drivers. You never know.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, absolutely. But for now, let's focus on the French Grand Prix. We are watching Clone here on his outlap, making his way now through turn 6 and then on towards the left-hander of turn 7. That's not great for Forbes. He's already left the session, so hopefully he'll be able to rejoin back very, very shortly. And we're now coming down towards the... it's a chicane for sure, but it's a much quicker chicane than most other circuits.
Yeah, obviously this track has got quite a few chicanes in it, and it's a bit of a stop-start circuit, but it is quite high speed as well. So this track, I think it's more medium downforce, but you want to take a bit of wing off of them straights, as DRS down that run from the start of sector 2 to the end of sector 2 is the main overtake opportunity down there, and I expect to see a lot of passes there, as we do see DRS in this game is particularly strong in my view. So yeah, there will be a lot of overtakes there, and the strategies, it's variants. A lot of guys who like starting the softs. You can start on all 3 tyres, they're all viable, but soft medium strategy can work, but you might be struggling at the end there on the tyres, so let's see how that's going to work.
Running forward then with Clone for a flying lap here at the French Grand Prix, making your way now down towards turn 1. You're almost braking as you turn in for turn 1, right in the curve through turn 2. You see plenty of curve on the exit there as we now make our way all the way down towards turn 3. Again, braking just before the 50-metre board. Very aggressive from Clone there, braking as late as he possibly can, keeping the car nice and tidy through the entrance of 5, keeping it nice and tidy on the exit as well, so that you get a good entrance through turn 6. Flying through turn 7 now, full throttle through there. DRS will be wide open down this back straight towards turns 8 and 9. Got plenty of time to think about your braking zone here. Have a look on the right-hand side again. Braking around about 70 metres before the corner is blown. Nice and tidy through turn 9. This looks like it's going to be a great lap if they can keep it all together. No DRS then as we head up towards turn 10. You're climbing and climbing. The car will find it a little bit more difficult to accelerate, but it is flat out through here, through turn 10, and then making your way now towards turn 11. It's a sweeping corner that tightens as you go through it. Hit the apex perfectly there through turn 11, so you can get a good exit and you run towards turn 12. Again, a tightening corner, turn 12. Focus on the apex and get that good exit out of the corner, flat out through turn 13, and then coming towards turn 14. Again, another tightening radius corner before you make your way towards turn 15. One of the slowest corners on the track. You need to hit this apex sweetly and make sure you don't spin the wheels up. Here comes Gloam then towards the line, and the first qualifying lap of the session is a 1:30.7. That looked pretty tidy to me, and Leon has gone 2/10 quicker, 1:30.5. Great lap times from the two.
Yeah, good lap. So I do expect Paul to be in the 1:29s, as you know there. So it's a really good lap there. 1:30s already. So he's got really hot pace at the moment. As you've got a few guys setting up hard tyres. As I say, I do expect to mix the tyres in qualifying, but if you want to go in the front three rows, you need the soft tyres.
Yeah, and actually, a bit of a tank slapper there from Leroy on the exit of turn 1. Z3 goes fastest. Now that is an inspired performance so far from Z3. And, well, maybe Mercedes have had the chat, and he's going for it now. Great lap time from the
yeah, I haven't seen much of him so far this season, but he did say Monaco and Canada were two bad cracks for him, so maybe now we're back on these more traditional sort of permanent circuits, maybe this fancy a bit more, but yeah, that's a good lap so far, and that even at the end of the session, that lap looks quite competitive, so good banker for him there, and he'll be looking to get near 1:29's next lap.
Your biggest rival is your teammate, and that is one case for Unknown. He set a 1:33.1. I'm pretty sure that's a banker lap there, and he'll be looking to get faster lap time. But Asahina is out there on a flying lap. Though it's going to be a little bit of an unfair contest, really, because Asahina is on the softest tyre possible as he makes his way towards turn 10. Just how important is this race going to be for Unknown? He has to finish ahead of Asahina, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's in the hot seat at the moment. He did keep his seat, but as I say, he was very nearly lost it. And we have seen really strong pace for him, but his issue is keeping it together in a race. So many times I've seen him make unforced errors. In Monaco, he was on for possibly a podium, and he hit the wall and got wing damage. He does that far too often. He should be up near the top of the standings, but his mistakes are costing him as actually on a boxer's lap in that new pit lane.
Yep, the new pit lane, which, as you say, Jamie, rightly so, that is going to add on to the pit lane time and the pit stop time as Braga now abandons his lap and makes his way towards the pit lane. Forbes there is on the medium tyre as he makes his way towards turn 12. Let's see what this lap time is, because this is the first lap time here. That will be on a set of the medium tyres as he makes his way now flying through turn 13 on towards turn 14 here. Yep, staying out there. Now towards turn 15 as he's now winding up. I didn't realise all that time was on an outlap.
Yeah, he might have been I think he might have validated that lap. Now he's flying lap. He's got a full bar battery, so we're going for it this time. Him being out this early in the medium indicates he's in the qualifying softs.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be maybe. It might be a bit too early to say what tyres he's going to start on, but I think you're right. He might be looking for these soft tyres there. What that could indicate is that Forbes has brought maybe a harder set strategy towards this race. Of course, with the harder set or the harder strategy, you get big slide there coming out of turn 6. Very lucky to keep that under control, but he's still going for it, so he obviously still thinks there's value in this lap. But yeah, he could have brought harder tyres towards this race. And do you think that could favour him?
Possibly, yeah, possibly they win the race if some guys are pushing a bit more on the tyres. But yeah, but the only problem doing this is if you tend to qualify on the softs, you leave yourself run short, so you put yourself a bit more pressure in your next two runs. So yeah, it could work for him, but also it could be a disadvantage.
Well, he makes his way now through turn 12, and if you've seen my tweet, I do apologise for my French. I did try French. I forgot the article in front of France. Shush, leave me alone. Anyway, Forbes now flying his way through turn 13, coming towards turn 14, and then through turn 15. This time around, though, should be going towards a flying lap, keeping it nice and tidy out of the final corner and towards the start-finish line. Even with that tank slapper at 131.3, that's 3/10 faster than Skeven on a set of those hard tyres.
Yeah, and there's at least a few more attempts that lap, that tank slapper, so a good lap for him there, and he'll be looking to contend, maybe get close to his teammates' lap on his soft set, as I believe the delta is about a second, maybe slightly less, it depends on, maybe slightly less than a second, I believe.
Well, he'll be making his way back towards the pit lane now and seeing if he can put on a fresh set of tyres, possibly soft tyres, possibly another set of tyres. Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll find out with you as we head in towards the last 9 minutes of qualifying, just over or just under halfway through qualifying. It is Z3 for Mercedes currently on pole position. Janul in second, 130.1, and I do hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Westy is in third, Leon fourth.
Leon spun it.
Well, I'm sure he won't want this on the stream, so that's exactly why I'm going to put it on the stream. That's at turn 2, that is. So did you see that, Jamie?
No, I just saw the end of it. I just presume he maybe caught the curb on the exit and they spun him around. There's the curbs in this game now pretty lethal, and there's no exception here.
Absolutely not. So he's got to try and learn from that one. Here comes Flabel around the final corner and towards the start-finish line. Plenty of DRS to use towards that start-finish line. So 131.0 on a set of the medium tyres. So that's 3/10 faster than Forbes there, and only 3/10 away from Clone.
No, yeah, that's a decent lap there, and yeah, just good banker in there. So if things do go wrong on the soft, he's got that lap of the to fall back on. But yeah, looking at this, the majority of these guys will be going for the soft tyre and getting a good position. As Legend bumped up to second place, our new Red Bull driver.
Yeah, that will do him the world of good there, putting a lap time like that on the board. 1:30.1 on the front row of the grid. We've got Bagger Bones, Asahina and Praga all yet to set a competitive lap time. Asahina will be the first of the bunch, I believe, now heading his way through the final corner. So this is going to be where the battle of the Renaults commences. He makes his way towards the start-finish line, and it's a 1:30.8, which puts him into 8th place. Bagger Bones comes into the pit. Here comes Praga towards the line. P8 for the Williams driver.
Yeah, pips him by 2/10 as Bagger Bones abandoned his lap there, back in the pit. So he's under a bit of pressure at the moment. The newly demoted Haas driver.
Absolutely, he's just making his own circuit there. Not sure the rule book on that one, however. Lots of drivers here are making their own track. Of course, there's over 100 layouts of Paul Ricard, but hopefully we'll only use the one for the race.
Yeah, obviously quite easy to get lost around here on different layouts, but these drivers still done enough practice around here. They know where it goes, and don't expect so many cock-ups here. They're just playing around there, trying to get out people's way. Just going about this track, it's quite easy to get out people's way because there are over many million different layouts to get.
As well as that, you've got the bits of blue and red on the outskirts of the track, as of course they are the abrasive surface, fiberglass and all. The blue makes you slow down a little bit, or the abrasion is a little bit higher as Janul goes top of the table, first person into the 129. So the blue bits of tarmac you can see on the outside are the more abrasive tarmac to try and slow the car down. The red bits of tarmac are the very abrasive parts of the track, so you really don't want to be going anywhere near them.
Obviously when cars test, when the cars test, they don't want the car getting, if it fails, don't want the cars getting wrecked and damaged. So yeah, they'll do that to avoid. But we have seen F1 cars crash here before. I believe who crashed here in practice this year? Was it Stroll, I believe? So people, it's possible to crash around here, amazingly, even despite all this runoff.
Yeah, I mean, there's no gravel at this track. This is their alternative to having gravel tracks around the circuit. And, well, it keeps the gravel away from the track, it keeps the gravel away from the cars. And to me, though, it doesn't stop the cars as quickly as gravel does. But then again, gravel traps were probably phased out for a reason. It was so easy to flip the cars. And back in the day, you really didn't want to flip those cars whatsoever.
yeah, fit the Schumacher at Silverstone, that sort of maybe helped bring the demise of gravel traps. It's a shame, but the gravel traps coming back to the end, top of Radion at Spa this year, though I believe. So we'll be seeing a new gravel trap next year there. So
yeah, so they might be being phased back in. Who knows? But yeah, and all that on his first flying. Oh, no, second flying.
He's on his in lap, I think. Yeah, he's on his in lap, I think.
He will be on his in lap. He's going rather slowly, probably trying to save these tyres as much as possible. I'll tell you something, going on the part of the track where there's no rubber on won't necessarily help, but as much as I'd like it to. So the standings at the moment, with just over 4.5 minutes to go, Yanul is on pole position, Westy in second, Z3 third, Legend in fourth, Clone fifth, with Leroy sixth, Leon seventh, Praga in eighth, Asahina in ninth, Ron Line rounds out the top 10. Flavel in 11th, Forbes in 12th, Skeven 13th, Foxy Dude 14th, Albrecht 15th, James Slater 16th, Minty in 17th, Unknown in 18th, and Bagabones is yet to set a lap time in this qualifying session.
Interestingly, Leroy, his lap time there is on the medium tyre, so on the medium tyres, that's a really good lap, and he'll be looking to maybe contend for pole position on his spot. The only problem doing that is he's got 1-1 on the soft, so. But he's got that bank on the medium. If things go wrong, he might start in the back of the top 10 in the mediums.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, Praga is now back out on track, and this is someone who wants to get himself further up the order. In fact, both Williams will really want to get themselves further up the order. It's not often we see both cars struggling for pace, as Forbes now goes P2, 129.8. He said he liked this track. He said he had pretty good pace around here. Maybe not the setup. Well, I think he was bluffing. 129.8, great lap time.
Yeah, and I'll see. I was actually watching the precision tier before, and the pole lap in that tier was 129.6. So these guys still in the precision tier at the moment. Come on, guys, we need to get more pace. I expect to see these guys.
Oh, come on, Jim. It's not exactly the same track conditions now.
No, possibly not. But yeah, it is quite competitive though. I do expect to see that 129.6 go at the end.
Here we go, Flavel here could use Skeven, he will do. A little bit of toe down towards turn 10, that'll add to his top speed. Flying through there now, you see the Haas going through your picture. I think that's Minty going through. Yes, it is, because Bagalones is still in the pit lane. So let's see what Flavel can do then. Going through turn 12, there's no more sector lines until the start-finish line now. So through turn 12 now, tightening radius corner. Really important to get the apex absolutely bob on. Through turn 13, now towards turn 14 here, late on the brakes, and again, using the friction of the corner itself, of steering in, to actually slow yourself down. Flavel now has to get the acceleration point absolutely right. He comes towards the line, it's P4, 130.032, that's 100th slower than Westy's best lap time so far.
Yeah, really competitive there, and well, it's only 2 turns off pole, but he's only 4th place, so yeah, and not ideal. And there's an interesting Skevan, he's on the medium tyres, so he's going for a different strategy here. And will Skevan get the return favour from his team?
I wonder actually, down towards turn 10, of course no DRS going up towards the right-hander, DRS going towards turn 8 and 9, so that's where you want the toe, coming through your turn 10. Here's Foxy Dude making his way towards the start-finish line to put a lap on the board, currently P15 but on a set of hards, and now goes top of the table, 129.3. Where did that come from?
I don't know, out of the blue. Bloody hell, what a lap that is. Obviously he just drafted in this evening and wow, he just smashed his pole position there.
Floats off the track there as Toro Rosso struggles out there, so that will probably be the end of his qualifying session. I think he realises that too. So we've got other drivers to have a look at. We've got Albrecht as well out on a flying lap. Skeven on a set of those medium tyres. I believe he's having to go again. You can see there he's right behind Ollie actually. He's right behind his teammate Flavel. He doesn't want to pass him, but maybe he's thinking maybe Flavel will repay the favour. Who knows actually? I'm not too sure. Meanwhile, Westy now flying through the first couple of corners. We've got Foxy Dude, who I doubt is going to set another lap on those tyres. Clone here moving across to one side to try and get out of the way. Both Williams are actually on the cusp of the top 10. In fact, Praga's outside of the top 10. Really rare to see from the Williams boys today. Yeah, let's see if they can get a good lap time under their belts.
Yeah, Liam's about to start his lap in Prague. coming down the straight. He's sort of matched his first set of lap time, so you need to get more down here. But you can't really gain much time in sector 2. It's sector 3 where the gains tend to happen.
Pavel has retired from the session. Slater is on a flying lap. He's on a set of the medium tyres. Bag of Bones is also on a set of the medium tyres. Hasn't set a lap time in qualifying yet, has this Haas driver. And it's just so difficult to keep up with who's on a flying lap and who's not. Z3 comes into the pits then, 6th place for the Mercedes driver as it stands. Forbes in 3rd place there. Westy is making his way now towards turn 12, but he's not on a flying lap. Janul is flying through turn 7. So many cars out there. Let's have a look. So let's have a look at the Williams of Prague. Meanwhile, coming through turn 13, on towards turn 14, and then towards the final corner of turn 15. This could be a crucial lap time here for Prague as he rounds the final corner and on towards the start-finish line. Can he improve on 11th place? Heading towards the line, he can. It's 8th place for the Williams driver of Prague then. Leroy is now on a set of soft tyres. Unknown retires from the session. He will start at the back of the grid, not the qualifying session he wanted. You got Ron Lyon on a lap. Leon also on a flying lap. Championship leader currently in 11th place. Making his way now around the final corner. Has got to get this exit absolutely spot on. Leroy goes top of the table, 129.3. Leon gets up to 5th place into the 129s there as Ron Lyon goes now up to 9th place, and Legend there is not on a flying lap, neither is Skeven.
You know goes 3rd, and then he hit the McLaren across the line. Doesn't that affect his lap though? It's a bit scary though. I didn't know where the line was, but that didn't affect his lap. Lino goes 3rd. Sorry about that, I have a bit of a on board with there. I've got a jump.
Well, no worries at all. Well, the big news then, new team, new Racing Point car, and that is pole position for Leroy. So a great result from him. We run down the order of qualifying then. It's Leroy top of the table, out qualifying Foxy Dude by 0.03 of a second. Janul is in 3rd place, Forbes in 4th, Leon 5th, Westy 6th, Pavel in 7th, Z3 in 8th, Ron Line 9th, and Legend rounds out the top 10. It's Praga outside of the top 10 in that Williams car. Asahina in 12th, Clone in 13th, Albrecht 14th, Bagabones 15th, Minty 16th, Skeven 17th, Slater in 18th, and Unknown didn't really set a competitive lap time. He starts in 19th place.
Not a good qualifying for him. It's the second pole in the position of a Racing Point, but obviously 2 completely different drivers doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, you had Legend on pole position in Canada, I believe, before he made his move, before he got signed. So this opens it up, actually. The Racing Point is clearly quite a good car because Leroy's put it on pole position. Have Racing Point just discovered another good driver, Jamie?
Yeah, and obviously they're in a good position to constructors, so yeah, this could be interesting. Obviously Leroy was in the Haas, he did get that 2nd place in Monaco, so he has shown good form in the past, and well, Haas have just gone through drivers like I've gone through Hot Meals this season, so yeah.
Well, we'll have to wait and see how everything pans out for tonight, though. Still, 19 drivers in this one. Really, really looking forward to this one. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel down below. And make sure you are following the league on Twitter. It's at OneHub Racing. You can follow myself at KSMCGF1. You can also follow Jamie at JBMet92. And Janul has now left the session, Jamie. That's not good.
Oh, I don't know what that's about. I don't know what's gone on there, but yeah, obviously he was 3rd on the grid. He had a pretty good qualifying, and he's qualified well this season, you know, but his races haven't gone that well, and obviously, well, it's going to be a DNS for our 3rd man on the grid.
Yeah, so we've got Faster, Higher, Stronger Badger. That's actually Badgerman, who commentated the Precision Tier tonight. He's obviously one of our reserve tier commentators for OneHub. His support's going to Janul tonight, but he's just left.
Yeah.
So that's
I've
not...
got a guy on my screen, I've got a guy in 3rd that's got 4th next to his name. So.
Yeah, so that's not looking good for Janul at all. All that hard work in qualifying may come to nothing. That's such a shame for the Finnish driver.
Yeah, but this is interesting. For the first 3 rows, obviously 3 drivers that are sort of new to the league. So this is going to be interesting how it goes on, as you know, has rejoined, but he hasn't got a car to get into, so I don't know what's going to happen there.
I don't know at all. It That could be an interesting one. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. But what I would say is stay in the lobby for now because you don't know what's going to happen. But Leroy, pole position then. Good lap from the Irish driver. He said he likes this track, apart from Sector 3. Showed on that lap, actually. He does like this track.
Yeah, I think his Sector 3 was pretty good that lap as well. So that's where he got pole position. So yeah, and obviously I'm obliged to mention our sponsors, Next Level Racing. Obviously, this season, all 4 drivers champions will get a wheel stand free of charge, free of postage, delivered by Next Level Racing. And if you want to get one yourself, you can go on the website, it's a link in the description, and put in the code 1HUB10 and you get a nice 10% discount.
A lovely 10% discount. Remember, that is the word 1, hub, and then the number 10. Just to confuse you even more, that's the code you can use to get yourself 10% off anything on Next Level Racing. Make sure you do follow them on Twitter as well. They're at NextLVL Racing. But here we go then. Towards the grid we go, very, very slowly now towards the grid. It is Leroy who's going to be on pole position for the French Grand Prix, rounding the final corner and on towards that start-finish line. Onto the grid we go. And hopefully this will be a fantastic race. Apparently the precision tier, just a race ago in the French Grand Prix, was absolutely hectic. Let's hope we get a great race here. We've got an empty grid slot 3, so that's not looking good for Janul. However, anything can happen here. At the moment, we've got 18 cars starting this one. That grid spot is still empty, not looking good for Janul, but we are moments away here from the French Grand Prix here in One Hub Racing, round number 8. As we ride on board with Leroy, then looking towards the lights, and it's an agonising wait for those lights to come on. We get the green flag there, so here come the lights then for the French Grand Prix. It is 5 red lights. Round 8 is underway, and what are the starts like? Forbes got a great start then from his grid slot. Down towards turn 1 we go. Leroy has to go straight onto the defensive. Forbes then looking for a way around the outside at turn 1. He's got the inside at turn 2. Leroy and him go side by side. Oh, we got a spinner in the background. That's Asahina, who's bound himself around, and he's retired from the race. So he's been collected there. I think he was collected by Albrecht there, and that's not good at all. So Asahina now out of the race. Meanwhile,
Unknown and Bones has spun up as well, so Carnage at the back. But what a start by Rob.
Yeah, apologies for the shoddy camera work there. He's trying to get a good view of the cameras here and pressing the wrong button several times. 3 wide we're going now, down here towards turn 8. That's Leon on the inside, qualified in 5th place, now got up to 4th. But that is Foxy Dude there, defending his line really, really well, committed there. And virtual safety car deployed then after that hectic start, which has found Asahina out of the race.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I wasn't really following what happened at the back. But yeah, the 2 Haas boys have got wing damage, and I believe Unknown has as well. So Unknown under pressure, and once again he has a bit of a messy start. But yeah, I mean, Rob just up the line, he just got the perfect launch, similar to what Bottas did in Japan. But Leroy, I have to say, held his line well there, and Foxy has got back up to 2nd place. So Leon, he's looking very feisty there, but I think Leon wisely backed out of it into the chicane, and he's in a good position now, 4th place ahead of one of his rivals, Westy.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see what happens now, but we are down to 18 cars. Janul has joined back. I doubt, well, he hasn't got a car, so that is a DNS against his name. That is so unfortunate. Of all the times to disconnect, it had to be that point for Janul, so unfortunately that will go down as a DNS and a connection issue there.
If it happened like a few minutes, a minute later, he could have just rejoined it.
Green flag racing now, as we are back underway on the 2nd lap. Leroy leads then from Foxy Doo in 2nd place. Leon there is in 3rd place, looking to put the pressure on. Qualified in 5th place. Without Janul there, he's got himself a little bit of free position there. However, he's right on the back of that Mercedes. That's Westy in 5th, Z3 in 6th, Flavel in 7th, Ronline 8th, Braga 9th, Legend 10th, Clone 11th, Stephen 12th, Slater up to 13th, Unknown 14th, Vagabonds 15th, with Albrecht and Minty 16th and 17th. Who are involved in first lap collisions. Leon here looking down the inside of that Mercedes into turn 8. He's going to be on the outside of turn 9, and he's a little bit onto that curb there. Hard and aggressive fighting from both drivers, but Forbes holds on.
Yeah, it's a back out there, Leon. He was off the track, so he had to back out of it there. But he's got a good run here into this not really a traditional taking spot. As that Ferrari head is lapping like crazy. I hope that doesn't continue. But yeah, Leon was looking very feisty there, but Rob was hold on. But Rob, DRS next lap, so he'll be a bit under pressure a bit more now. He's a second behind the kart head, so he has to close the gaps at Ferrari ahead. He should be very vulnerable.
Praga in 9th place there is getting away, trying to get a good couple of positions. As he started on those medium tyres, so he's looking to just make the ultimate strategy work. But he's got a lot of traffic ahead and behind. Of course, we're fastest lap of this race, coming through thick and fast. Of course we would, because we had a virtual safety car just a second ago, just a lap ago. But Forbes is under huge pressure here from the championship leader Leon.
Yeah, obviously DRS next lap, and he's going to be sitting duck, I think, down this straight. So Rob just got to try and defend the inside line and try and maybe get a switch back. That's the only hope here, because the DRS is very strong down here.
Lavell's putting some pressure on Z3, the man from Jersey in the McLaren, looking to try and overtake that Mercedes. Meanwhile, Praga has got away past Ron Line, so the Williams is now up to 8th place with some DRS to try and help him pull him away, as we've got Leon there down the inside with the DRS and gets the move done before the braking zone of turn 8. So Leon then back up into the podium spots. Ron Line takes that position back from Praga, and he's left the door open there for Legend. Legend is sticking it in there, a Daniel Ricciardo-esque style, sticking it on the inside there, but no way through he could find there as he makes his way through turn 10. As Foxy has left the session now, that will be down to connection issues. He is a little bit laggy out there, so he's now going to find himself, he could find himself dropping down the order significantly now. That's not what he wanted at all. Braga still trying to put Ron Line under some pressure. We've got Legend in 10th, Clone in 11th, and Skeven in 12th, looking to try and take advantage. Riding on board here with Braga as he makes his way through turn 14. That is C3, who takes a pretty wide line, pretty wide entrance into turn 14, but I assume that's a defensive line. Braga, meanwhile, right on the gearbox of the racing point of Ron Line as we make our way towards turn 1. Watch out for Forbes as well. He's looking up the inside and towards Braga, but no, he gets collected and spins the car around, and the two Mercedes come together. Forbes is out of the race. He went for a move down the inside into turn 1. He collided and made contact with Leon. It spun him around, and the only car he could have collected by Sod's Law was his teammate. So Z3 has significant damage, and Forbes is out of the race.
Well, Total Wolf will be heads in hands there. So yeah, I've seen, and Forbes is right under the racing line on turn 1, but guess what? No safety car. What a surprise. But yeah, maybe a little bit over keen there. Yeah, but you have to say he did lose his place Leon. Maybe he wants to get it back, but it's still a long way to go, and I think he's got a key lesson there, Rob. There, I think he'll do that again.
Yeah, I mean, it's his second race with Mercedes, another non-point scoring finish. He's just got to get that momentum sooner rather than later. Mercedes will be urging that.
Struggling. He's got no wing at all, so he's going to struggle in this final sector.
I'm not surprised. The force and the impact he hit to his teammate there. Of course, Z3's just got nowhere to go. That happened so quickly for him. Yeah. He absolutely just really couldn't do a lot there. But, well, he will be absolutely kicking his luck.
Shame, because they're both having strong races.
That's not Ron Line around there. And he 360s there, coming towards the penultimate corner. I have no idea what happened there, but luckily for him, the pit lane is right there next to him, and he comes into the pits. What a bizarre one.
These guys on the pit, they can get hard to the end, I believe, from here, so they'll try doing the once off, but what they're playing for now is a safety car, get them back in the race, because they won't even, they'll be fighting the back now. Don't know what happened there now, why? I just think he clipped somebody, or...
I'm not sure. It's either he made contact or he spun up the rear tyres, but to me, that didn't look like a contact sort of spin. He spun 360 and he spun up the rear tyres as if he knew he was going around.
Westy's on the back of Leon here for second place, but Leon gets a good exit out the chicane, so it's going to be a difficult move here. He's gaining, but I think it's come up too, corner comes up too early for him.
Favell now moves up to 4th place with Foxy Dude not in the session at the moment, so this could be a couple of easy positions with the drivers behind. Meanwhile, Braga on the medium tyres, currently in 6th place. He's been doing well so far.
Having a quiet race, I'd say, keeping out of trouble, as everyone else is spinning around or colliding each other. He's keeping out of trouble in 5th place. he's going to be 5th place now to the past the ghost car. Not far behind Flavel, and he could do his teammate Leon a favour here if he can get ahead of that McLaren.
Could do, but the only problem is Flavel is on the soft tyres, Praga on the mediums right now. It's a bit touch and go as to which tyres are performing better right now, which one of them has the pace. Meanwhile, Clone there gets away past the ghost car of Foxy Dude. Now he can focus solely on the Red Bull. Then that was going into a braking zone there, and even they're a ghost car, even though they're not actually there, you can go straight through them. They can still put you off.
Yeah. It's a distraction, so it's sort of in your eye line of sight. So yeah, it is a distraction. And now, obviously, on this game, now new update, lap cars with ghosts as well. So that'll be interesting to see if any cars do get lapped in this race, how that affects people. Is Westy's hanging the back of Leon here, but Leon's had a good lap there. The gap's a bit further back than it was the previous lap. So these two are playing hammer and tongs. We've seen so many times this season. They had a pretty good battle in Canada, and Anthony and Westy all Westy there. And Flavel's gaining on him now.
Here's Clone then looking at the back of Legend. This is Red Bull versus Toro Rosso here. Unknown now moves up to 9th place in a race he needs to do well in. Clone looking for a move down the inside at turn 8. Nothing doing there. But just going back to what you said, Jamie, that lap cars can now ghost once they're being lapped by someone on the lead lap. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of that. That just seems like a get out of jail free car for the chasing car. It takes all the motorsport out of it, surely. But here comes Clone. No, sorry to cut across you there, Jamie. Here comes Clone down the inside at turn 12. Can he try and make this move stick? Sorry, this is turn 11 now. The long right-hander. He's on the inside there, but he doesn't get the great line out of turn 11 that he wants. Here comes Skeven, though, who wanted to try a move there. Nothing doing yet as Clone once again takes a compromised line on entry into the corner, and that could have opened himself up to Skeven. Leroy into the pit. Sorry, Jamie, I cut straight across you.
No, I was going to say on the ghost car things. Yeah, I like it for like the public sessions races and randomness, but in these organised league races, I think you have the option to turn it on or off, because of these organised races, there's like stewarding and stuff, so I think you should have the option to turn it on or off.
Leroy puts on a set of medium tyres and away he goes. So the race leader puts on a fresh set of boots. Then Leon stays out for an extra lap, as does Westy. So we'll have to see what the overcut is like here at the Paul Ricard circuit.
Flavel and Legend have gone on the hard tyres now, so we've got a divergent opinion on the tyres. I have been told all 3 combinations can work, so Leroy's got a 5-second lead on Flavel. He's really checked out the front in his first stint.
Yeah, I believe Legend has picked up a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He stopped at the wrong white line, I assume. But here is Praga then, right on the back of Westy. Watch out for Praga. He could be having a lightning race then towards the end. He's right on the back of Westy here.
Yeah, he'll go really long on these, I believe, and he'll pit for... Will he pit for softs or hards? That'll be interesting to see, but he will surely pit for softs at the end with like 5 or 6 laps to go. And look how much quicker he is. These softs have died off, and these two had a sitting ducks, but it's difficult taking this section, so he's losing time at the moment. You'll see, hopefully these two guys peel off at this next corner.
We'll have to wait and see. Making his way now through turn 14. There goes Leon into the pits there. Really wide on entrance, but he just about gathered it up and makes his way into the pit lane. Here comes Praga then towards the start-finish line in the slipstream of Westy. They've both got DRS, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for the Williams driver. He's looking up the inside at turn 1, but he just doesn't quite have the overspeed into turn 1. And look how close Clone and Skeven have closed up here. Through turn 2 we go. Still on board with Praga then. He's got to try and go for this move sooner rather than later. He's under extreme pressure now from the Toro Rosso and the McLaren behind.
The problem with being this close, Clone could get the double toe here down, so it could be 3 wide, especially if Clone gets good X out here, which he does. It could be an opportunity. Westy's more compromised lines, that might affect Praga.
Well, Westy here is going to be the only one without DRS down the back straight here. But of course, as you say, Clone will have a little bit of slipstream on the Williams. They're going very close together down towards turn 8. It's going to be Clone who has the inside line. Praga just about holds on, and the Williams takes the lead of the race. But it's not done yet though. Clone wants this position. He wants the lead of the race. We head now up the hill towards turn 6. Meanwhile, Westy struggling on those tyres. Skeven is looking to try and make a move as well. But Praga once again holds on. He goes to defensive in towards turn 11, has the inside line. Clone looking to try and make the move around the outside, but Clone defends really, really well there. Oh, sorry, Braga defends really, really well there against the Toro Rosso. That's Skeevan trying to go around the outside of Westy at turn 12. That's just about worked. Great move from Skeevan then. Full guts and glory there as he takes third place away and exits stage left or right, in this case for Westy. He's had enough of those tyres and he comes into the pit lane. That means then Praga will take the lead of the French Grand Prix, although he has yet to stop. Leroy, meanwhile, is in 8th place and Leon down to 10th. So Flavel has actually jumped him in the pit stops.
Yeah, it's interesting what happened there. I don't know if Leon had a bit of wind damage or something, but yeah, he lost a lot of time in that pit phase, and Westy is going to lose a lot of time there because he lost a lot of time in that battling, so he's going to drop a few places here. He might even be behind Legend here. Yes, he is. He's behind our online even, so Westy's got a lot of time there. He's down in 12th place. And look at the front three, look at Unknown is catching these guys, so he must have survived turn 1, and he's not far behind these guys. These guys keep battling. As Clone down the inside of part of the lead here, does he make the move stick? Yes, he does.
Yeah, great move there from Clone as he takes the lead of the race now. And these three have got to be careful. Yes, they can battle now, but they're supposed to be on the ultimate strategy. They've got to think in the long run. But, of course, they're racing drivers. They're going to go for moves. Here comes Braga, then, who has a great run through turn 10. He's on the inside for turn 11. They come very, very close then. Still, he's on the inside there of turn 11. Clone has to give him the room as they now make their way towards turn 12. Clone will have the inside line. Skeevan, you can see there, he's just biding his time, seeing what happens between the Toro Rosso and the Williams ahead of him. We're heading now towards turn 14. Praga is the inside line, but he's made contact! He's made contact with the Toro Rosso, spins out, and that was a move there. That to me, that wasn't going to happen. And has he got damage, Jamie, as you said there?
Yeah, I believe he got damage, yeah. He's seen the pitch straight away as Skeevan takes the lead now, so Clone was obviously affected by that. But yeah, that was just... It was just a little bit over keen there, I think, from Praga, and he's going to lose a lot of time there because he's got to change his wing.
Yeah,
new wing.
It wasn't quite half a car, was it? He just wanted to go for it. He saw an opportunity.
His wing hasn't been changed, actually. His wing hasn't been changed, so
I don't think there is any damage, but he's decided to come in and go on to a set of the hard
tyres.
tyres.
Were burnt out there. Maybe he just overhit his tyres there, felt like doing us and going hard tyres. That is a viable strategy, but it's the slower strategy, so he's not out of this race, but he lost about 4 or 5 seconds that spin, so he's a bit compromised, but he's not like 6 seconds down Westy, so he's still in there, but he's got a bit of clean air now to maybe compose himself again as Flavel and Leon. But next second place is Leon. And Legend's not far behind. These are the 3 championship contenders, obviously. They're all on the same piece of tarmac.
Yeah, Leon breezed past Flavel there, didn't he? As Westy gets the move done on run line and moves himself now up into the points. Of course, cars in front still have to make their stops as Leroy there is 6.9 ahead of Leon. That's great driving so far from the racing point, but he's got to make those medium tyres last year. The race. Flavel runs wide at turn 11, and Legend is able to take that position away. Not done yet, though, as actually, yes, it is, because Flavel backed out of the move going into turn 12. So Legend then takes over 8th place after a Flavel mistake.
Where has he come from? He was way down in the first stint, and he must have had a really good pit stop and outlap, because he's gained a lot of time. He's now in a net 3rd place. So, I don't know where he's come from, but got through the traffic pretty well, obviously, but Flavel could do the repass in turn 1, but turn 1's not an easy overtaking place. You've got to be really brave to lunge down the inside here. He's way too far back there.
Yeah, so lap 11 of the French Grand Prix, with drivers still yet to make pit stops. Skeevan leads with Clone 2nd, Unknown 3rd, with Slater 4th and Bag of Bones in 5th. The top 5 there still yet to make their pit stop in this race. Leroy is in 6th, Leon 7th, Legend in 8th, Flavel in 9th, Westy 10th, Ron Line in 11th, Praga 12th, Foxy Dude 13th, Albrecht 14th, Z3 15th place. And of course, he made contact with his teammate at the very start of this race. And Minty there in 16th place, who got caught up in the turn 1, lap 1 melee. It wasn't quite turn 1, but yeah, we've lost Asahina, who was collected at, I believe it was turn 2, pretty much. And Forbes retired from the race after Z3 just really had nowhere to go, collected him after Forbes had a spin at turn 1. Massive damage to the front wing of Z3 and a retirement for Forbes. Meanwhile, Flavel here is trying to now make a move work around the outside at turn 11. Credit for the bravery there. He's got the inside line for turn 12. He's going to try and get the apex as quickly as he possibly can. He'll try and steal it away from the Red Bull. But look at that there, Legend not having any of it. Inside of turn 13, but outside of turn 14 there, the Red Bull has to concede the position. And Westy here is now trying to move around the outside at turn 15 to try and get the better exit. And yeah, the Red Bull's given him the space there. He'll have the DRS as well, and the slight slipstream from Flavel ahead as we make our way now down towards turn 1, and Westy takes away 9th place.
Yeah, Westy on the medium tyre, so what he's got to do now, he's got to clear these guys as quick as possible and try and pull a gap and try and hang on at the end when these tyres will go off. So Westy should be quick at this stage of the race, but he has a good move on in there, but he's still got Flavel to clear. And then he's got that slight gap. Leon's pulled a gap now to Flavel, so Leon, he's settling for second place at the moment, but what's going to happen to Leroy at the end in his tyres?
Yeah, he's got to keep him in good nick towards the end of this race. That's where it's really going to matter. Here is Westy then with the DRS and breezes past Flavel then down towards turn 8. And he's got that move done. Pretty simple there for the Ferrari driver. So Westy now up to 8th place. Meanwhile, Leroy has overtaken Bag of Bones. That is for position, but Bag of Bones yet to stop. I don't think... Oh, Ron Lyon's out of the race. Ron Lyon is out, and that is at the exit of turn 9. And I don't know whether he's lost the back end. That's an odd place to spin out there.
I don't know if he lost it and hit that wall. I don't know, but yeah, that's an unusual place to... On the start of a straight, still not happen there. It's a shame because he had a good race early on, but it sort of fell apart a little bit towards the end. But yeah, obviously another DNF for R1 and his teammates in a good position though to win this race.
Legend here looking to try and find a way back past Flavel. Onto the start finish straight they go. Not a great exit from the Red Bull driver. Maybe he can try and make it up down towards turn 1. No, not quite. It's not quite a long enough straight here at France down towards turn 1. Watch out for Unknown as well, because he's trying to close in on this gap to Cologne. Now, obviously, this is Renault's home race. They would have said to him there's probably even more pressure on Unknown in this race. But the moment, 3rd place, yet to stop, you know, he'll want some points on the board, Jamie.
Yeah, and obviously his team out of the race, so he's won that team battle. He wants, so I think he want to get maybe a top 6. I think that's what he needs to get. I think that's what the team wants from him. So he's doing well so far, but when he picks, he's going to lose a lot of places, but he will be on the quick attack at the end. So he needs to clear this Toro Rosso ASAP because he looks quicker. And the Toro Rosso has lost a lot of ground skiing. When as soon as skiing got by, he's got a second lap quicker. So I think Clone's tyres may be going off.
Well, let's have a look as we make our way in towards, this is turn 12, on towards 13. You can see how close Unknown is to the Toro Rosso of Cologne as we now make our way through turn 14 and then towards turn 15. It is Skeven though still leading the way as we're about to approach half distance. There it is, lap 14 out of 27. We have 14 laps to go here in France. It is Skeven who leads, and Vagabonds comes into the pit lane then to make his mandatory stop in this race. So that will probably be hard tyres, as you say, Jamie, to the end of this race. Meanwhile, Unknown still putting that pressure on Cologne as we make our way now down towards turn 3.
Yeah, see, this is where he just needs to get good exit feeling. He should slingshot himself down this straight, but you have seen in the past guys close here and just get a terrible exit and that ruins the opportunity. But Unknown, he's in range, but he's got to be brave into the chicane.
Here we go then. This might be a bit of bravery into the chicane as he closes and closes on Cologne down towards turn 8. He looks for the inside move, last of the late breakers, and slows it down in time. Unknown takes second place away from Cologne, and that will have been a huge boost to his morale right now. Up into second place, goes defensive on the entrance in towards turn 10. Says to Cologne, if you're going to make the move, you have to make it around the outside, and obviously that's a compromised line. Unknown, really good defending there. Yeah, really good defending. There really wasn't a lot on offer for Cologne other than to back out of the move. But yeah, that's Unknown now up into second place.
Yeah, that was a good move from there. He had to be brave, and he was brave. But the impressive thing there, he got it stopped perfectly, and Cologne did get the switch back, but he just didn't have momentum. There's unknown pitch straight away, so he'd be going the hard tyres in the end.
Well, let's see where Unknown will be able to rejoin, and let's see what those medium tyres or those hard tyres are going to be like.
Praga is, I predict, that's where he come out.
We've got Legend right on the board with him. He's trying to chase down Flavel. This is currently for 8th place, will become 7th once they pass the Renault in the pit lane. There is Unknown there. Praga making his way now onto the start-finish straight. This might actually be closer than we think here. In fact, he's going to rejoin ahead of Praga there. So Unknown rejoins ahead and up into 9th place. Now it's crunch time. He's got the home crowd behind him in the Renault. He's got the team boss watching on. He's got Jamie, head of the drivers, watching on as well. This is his time to perform.
Yeah. He's at 6th place at the moment, so he just needs to keep it together, not making stupid mistakes, and he gets some good points today. And you never know, you might catch some of these guys towards the end of them struggle on tyres.
We were watching Legend as we make our way towards turns 8 and 9, but not quite close enough to Flavel there to try and muster up a move. Meanwhile, Westy has really close up to the back of Leon. Well, Westy on these medium tyres, can he make them to the end?
It's possible. It's possible. I've seen it done in the past, but he will be struggling. I think what Wesley's doing, he needs to clear this Williams because he'd be quick at the moment, but with from the final third of the race, it's hard to be quicker. So Wesley's just got to get past this guy. But Leon is defending well, as he has done all race.
Yeah, he of course is defending well there as they make their way through turn 13. Leroy has just been able to run away with this lead at the moment. He is on the medium tyres though, as he starts his 10th lap on those tyres now.
Leroy is about 10 seconds of Leon at this stage.
So his best bet is that Leon keeps Wesley behind and they keep battling so that he can save his tyres towards the end of this race. Leon's doing exactly that then as we head through turn 2. What's going to be interesting though is how well is Leroy keeping those tyres in check.
Yeah, obviously he's had to clear some traffic, but it's been quite easy for him, I think, as he's going to catch up to Clone for 2nd place. But I expect these two guys to pit before Leroy catches them, so probably gets me more traffic to deal with for the rest of the race.
Well, Unknown picks himself up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. There's a yellow flag in sector 3 now. Not quite sure what that is, but whatever it is, it's clear now.
In the spin, I think that was.
The Ferrari driver really trying to find a way past and engineer a move past the Williams. It's not going his way at the moment, but have a look at this on the exit of turn 9. Westy's got a good run here. Leon might have to go around the outside here. Westy is a whole car length alongside, up the inside, a 10-10, but they come together! Oh my goodness, the Ferrari and the Williams there are out of the French Grand Prix, locking wheels at turn 10, and then both in the wall, both out of the French Grand Prix.
That was weird. They just seemed to lock together and they just couldn't get off each other. And like I say, I've never seen many cars crash here, but that was pretty dramatic crash. And 2 championship contenders out the race, and well, I don't know if the stewards decided that.
Well, the stewards are going to decide whatever they like. Flavel here has got this one handed to him on a plate. If I'm having a look at the championship standings here, this is a perfect opportunity to try and make some points up. Legend is behind him right there. The gap between him and Legend is 4 points. The gap between himself and the lead of the championship, Leon, is 20. This is his opportunity now to get both of those gaps down.
Yeah, and obviously he's in the but Legend is right there with him, so it's not all home and hosed yet for him, but yeah, he will be a net 2nd place, and these front 3 guys look pretty comfortable for the podium so far. This promotes Unknown into a possible 4th or 5th place, so like I say, and may even get the podium. He has no result. He's on a lot fresher tyres, so who knows if he catches these guys for another race, so not all over yet.
And this is Legend's chance here. Again, looking at the championship standings, he's currently in 6th place, but there are cars that are yet to pit in this race. He's 16 points behind Leon there, so 2nd place or higher for Legend, and there's a possibility he'll take the lead of the championship so long as Flavel doesn't win.
Yeah. Well, I think Flavel's one shot of the win is if Leroy really hits the cliff, because Leroy, the gap's sort of staying stagnant at around 10 seconds at the moment, so he needs about a second a lap to catch him. But we might see that in the last 4 or 5 laps. But I think Leroy's doing a really solid job, and he's caught the back of Clone here, so you want to clear this guy as quickly as possible. His Legend is. He's been a 10th there, but annoyingly for him, he can't get past these few corners. He can maybe bounce down the inside here, but to do that, you get DRS down the straight, so I think he'll back off and go for a move down DRS straight. But Ollie has defended well, as did Leon, but obviously not with what happened with Westy there at the end of that instant.
Leroy moves up to second place. He passes Clone then, and gets now onto their second step on the podium. Of course, Skeevan and Clone still yet to stop in this race. Flavel goes defensive then down towards turn 8. Legend will have to go around the outside. It becomes the inside line for turn 9. He takes that away, that apex away from Flavel. And Flavel, there's not really any way he can apply the power, but look at this, right in the slipstream. I'm getting deja vu here, Jamie. I really don't want this to happen again as we head towards turn 10, and Flavel backs out of that one. So Legend now moves up to 5th place, but coming towards turn 11 there, Flavel's still piling on the pressure.
Yeah, he's still right on there. Obviously, he won't feel fully comfortable until he gets pulled out of the DRS gap. But I think these two are quite even match of pace. So I bet these two swap positions multiple times for the race, and this may come down to penalties. This smells of a position order change by penalties. I don't know the penalty situation yet, so I'll keep that secret. So I like to find out at the end of the surprise.
So the Dane of Nexus Legend is in 5th place. The Jerseyman of Flavel is in 6th place, and these two now, the spotlight is directly on them as they make their way through turn 1 and 2. Quite literally, the sun was literally bathing both cars, so a lot of pressure on the both of them. They know now this is a race they both need to take advantage of.
Yeah, and I think Skeevan could be a guy to watch out for towards the end, because he's playing for the soft tyres at the end, and he's going to come out behind these guys, but he'll be gaining on these guys lots. So Skeevan, not out of this for a good result yet, but he's just got to pick which lap to pit for the soft tyres.
No, good point there. However, the only problem with that is that the soft tyres we've seen don't last too long. Here's Flavel down the inside at turn 8. This time around, he claims the apex of turn 9 and moves ahead of the Dane then. So Legend back down to 6th place.
Crucially gets good exit out there as well, so there's no repass opportunity here.
Yeah, that's Flavel flying through turn 5. He's got Slater ahead of him, but Slater's yet to stop in this race. He's on the hard tyres. He's actually only 5.4 behind Clone, and Skeevan comes into the pits then. So let's see for the McLaren driver how this pit stop goes down. Making his way down the pit lane then. Soft tyres are at the ready. So too into the pits comes Nexus Clone. So that must mean Slater's not too far away from a pit stop, but in fact he stays out for another lap in the Red Bull.
Yeah,
Leroy will take the lead of the race then.
Skeevan's coming down the pit lane now, so it's not going to be that far behind these guys. He's right in there. He's right in there with them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Look at that from Skeevan there. So 5th place for him. He rejoins ahead of Unknown there in 6th. Clone will rejoin in 8th place. It looks like here. That's going to be very close actually towards turn 1. Praga will have the inside line and claims that apex then through turn 2, asserting his dominance. But look how much more grip Clone had coming out of turn 2. Oh. They come together there as Clone has to take out the brake marker board there. Nowhere for Clone to go there as Praga making sure that he had his elbows out there.
Z3 spun. Yeah, that was a bit naughty for Praga in my view, maybe. But I think he's going to be sitting duck down the straight anyway, because look at the superior, look how much traction Clone has. This is going to be easy pass down the pit straight.
Yeah, you can see Praga defending as much as he possibly can down towards turn 8, but this time it doesn't look like it's going to happen for him as Clone there. Oh, Praga runs into the back of the Toro Rosso. He's desperate to try and hold on to that position, but in his desperation, he's rather handed Clone the position on a plate.
There was a lost cause there for him. If that was obviously these guys that don't never want to lose position, but it was inevitable what's going to happen. The Skeevan is in the DRS lead already.
Yeah, so this could be another position for him, another 2 actually. Let's have a look at the position change as well. I have to say at the moment, with Slater the only driver yet to pit in this race, Skeevan up 12 positions, Unknown up 13. So it's been a real race to remember for those two drivers. Meanwhile, Skeven could go further up the order then in the slipstream of the Red Bull, going down towards turn 1, and that's another position gained for the McLaren driver. Up to 4th place he goes.
Yeah, it just obviously it's just a complete different grip level. It's just incredible how much he gained there, and now he's going to get his teammate down this other straight, and his task will be trying to close that gap to Leroy. But I think Leroy's got this in the bag. He's 12 seconds ahead, so that's going to be a tough call. It is possible though, but he's got to nail every lap.
Well, Skeven once again now in the slipstream. Flavel, I think he's going to let him through, you know. That's a team orders move, as Skeven then moves up to 3rd place. Flavel lets him go. Yeah,
you got McLaren getting a lot of points in constructors today with this, because obviously Williams down in 8th place and Leon out the race. Williams, McLaren are going to gain a lot of ground back on, and Red Bull as well. Red Bull are going to gain a lot of ground as well, so the constructor champion is going to close up as well.
So Skeven up into the podium places, and I can sense where our 2 driver of the day votes are going, Jamie. I wonder where they're going.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll leave that to the end of the race.
There's
7 laps to go. 7 laps to go then, soon to be 6 once Leroy crosses the line.
Staying out. If I was in my pit, he's just losing time now. If I was in my pit, maybe he's going for the fastest lap though.
I think that's what's going to happen. He'll go for the fastest lap. He's got 2 McLarens bearing down on him and his teammate of legend, as Skeven now goes for the fastest lap of the race then and sets it. Remember, One Hub Racing, there's 2 fastest lap of the race points up for grabs. 1 if you finish inside the top 10, and 1 point for you if you finish outside of the top 10. So right now, there's a battle between Z3 and Minty to try and grab that final point. Of course, if I believe it's the fastest point if you finish the race. So at the moment, that's going to be Z3 gaining that point with a 134.7, and it's going to be Clone in 7th with a 132.6.
Yeah, Clone nailed it there, but I think Skeven was a bit compromised by overtaking the cars, so I think he'll be going for fast lap. He's got a bit more clear. Maybe if he catch back with James Slater to pass him easily in DRS, then that's where his fast lap come from.
He is closing very quickly onto the back of Slater here. 9.6 is the gap between himself and Leroy, so that gap is coming down, but Skeven has to be careful of his tyres towards the end of this race.
Yeah, these softs, the fresh softs, so they're only fit and there's less fuel, so they'll last a little bit longer, but I think he might be struggling at the end. I think all these guys are struggling at the end. I think they'll all hit the end of the tyre life at the end of this race.
Cliff is beckoning here as Leroy starts lap 23 then, and Slater finally into the pit lane. 21 laps on those hard tyres. Good for the sponsors, but not so great for the tyre life as he makes his way into that garage.
In 8th, I think he'll come out in 8th. So we need to keep down this gap between Skeven and Leroy. See if he gains. Fair enough.
So Unknown moves up to 5th place. That is Clone will pass him as well for 6th. Praga will move ahead for 7th place. And that's going to be close between himself and Bag of Bones actually down towards turn 1. We should see a car coming out the pit lane. There he is. So that is Slater then coming out and rejoining in 8th place.
Yeah, crucial for him there. He's got a bit clear air, and he should be able to get Praga for 7th place. I think that's possible for him. But I think that might be as high as he goes.
Minty here in 12th place at the moment, trying to catch up, and Z3 here, that's a front wing change for the Mercedes driver, ongoing new set of soft tyres.
Yeah, he spun it a couple laps ago at the end of turn 2 where Ashiana DNF'd, so yeah, obviously he was trying to hold out for a pit window where he can go fast lap, but I now expect to see Minty come in later on and counter that.
7.7 now between Leroy and Skeven. A little bit of a moment out of turn 12 there for Leroy, but able to gather the car up as we make our way towards turn 14 and then through 15. So Leroy here will start lap 24 in the lead of this race. We now have 4 laps to go here, and Leroy is leading the way in France.
Yeah, Leroy that lap 1.5, Skeven did a 1.52, Skeven did a 1.33.4, so it's gonna be close, but I think Leroy may just hold on. Them softs still wear out quicker than the mediums.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Leroy is on very old mediums, so could be interesting.
could be interesting indeed. Skewen then in second place, 6.5 down on Leroy with 4 laps to go. It's not entirely impossible, but as you say, Jamie, those tyres, or those soft tyres of Skewen, are going to wear away much, much quicker. For Leroy here, it's a chance for a race win. He had a podium in Monaco. He hasn't had any, he didn't score any points in Canada last time. I don't actually think he was there for the race. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jamie.
I think he might have DNF'd, I'm not sure though.
Well, in any case, it was no points in Canada, and now he's come back in a possible chance to win the French Grand Prix.
Yeah, but obviously he must love the Azura coast, because of this track is very close to Monaco, so you'll get fought at the moments when they get a first or second leg needs to do French-speaking country tracks, so he does enjoy being around this area at the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be like that, although in Austria next week could be a little bit of a different story. Let's see how he gets on in German-speaking countries.
Yeah. And technically Montreal is a French-speaking area, so he didn't do that well there, so maybe I was being a bit,
Well, Statman, almost.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. Well, Leroy here, 3 laps to go, 5.4 is the gap. The gap is coming down, but not enough.
No, he's going to catch, but I don't think he's going to be able to get past. I think it's just going to be a lap short. He's getting another 1.8 seconds that lap, but yeah, I think Skewen's tyres would drop off now, and I think Leroy should have it covered. As Jonas comes in.
Yeah, Albrecht in. This looks like for a fastest lap of the race. He's seen the gap between himself and Minty. He's inside the top 10, so he thinks, you know what, I'm going to go for it. On will go a set of soft tyres for the Alfa Romeo driver, and he leaves the pit lane. So where is Minty then? Well, he's making his way through 13, so in essence, Albrecht should rejoin easily ahead of the Haas driver in plenty of clear air. This is his chance now to grab that fastest lap of the race point away from Cologne.
Slater's getting the back of Prague with a 7th place, but this is too far back there at the chicane. But Prague, horrible exit. I think Prague's tyres are, he's sugar them tyres. James Slater just gets the far superior exit. He's going to be side by side, but James Slater's on the outside, but he's got the better traction. He should get his move done, and he does.
Yeah, better traction, better grip, and in the end a better line through turn 10, and he's able to take that position away from the Williams driver. So Slater now up to 7th place. Meanwhile, Z3 just put in the fastest lap of the race, a race that could have been for Z3.
That's interesting. Obviously, Skewen, he's dropped off pace a little bit. Will Skewen let his teammate through at the end of the race? I wonder what. Because these two did want to be teammates, and they are teammates now. I wonder if they are communicating, because that will help Ollie's championship, Favel's championship chance to get these extra 3 points. Bag
of Bones is now into the pits. He's had the same idea as Albrecht. He wants to go at this fastest lap of the race here. Makes his way into the box, and the Haas team
should retain his position.
I don't think he's too concerned about that. I think he wants the fastest lap at the race point. No matter where he finishes, he's going to have a really good battle with Albrecht. Albrecht here will have a chance. He'll have 2 bites of the cherry here, but Bag of Bones is only going to have 1 to get the fastest lap. And there you can see Albrecht coming out of the final corner. There is the Haas car all the way up at the top of the circuit to going into turn 1. So Bag of Bones holds on to 9th place, and now he will try and attack. But Albrecht here is just focused on a quali lap here.
Yeah, just nailing the apexes, and Skewen, he is dropping off now. The gap is staying stagnant, so Leroy, barring penalties, he's got this win.
Well, Leroy here goes around the final corner and towards the start-finish line. He will start the final lap of the race here at the French Grand Prix, and in an opportunity to take a race win in only his 3rd start in One Hub Racing. On his debut at Monaco, he managed to grab 2nd place. This time around though, here in France, he's got a chance to grab all 25 as he makes his way through turn 3 and then through turn 4. It has been a race that, on paper at least, has looked pretty straightforward for Leroy, but it's been anything but.
Yeah, I think that strategy call, going to medium tyres, was a brave one, but it worked pretty well. As you got that massive 10-second gap, but he's lost pace towards the end, but he had enough of a buffer for a pretty comfortable race win. As Ollie Flavel is gaining on Skier, and will this switch happen, or will it not? I don't know. We need to keep an eye on that, but we'll keep an eye on our race winner as he's going to approach his final set to the final time. A pretty dominant weekend for him, pole position, and I'm not going to call it yet, but the almost race victory.
Well, he's only got one sector to go now through turn 11, and then on towards that left-hander of turn 12, the tightening radius corner of turn 12, then through the gears through turn 13, and then on towards turns 14 and 15. Leroy here has got one braking zone to go, one corner to go for the Irishman as he makes his way towards the start finish line and towards the checkered flag. Leroy scores his first race win in One Hub Racing, and it comes at the French Grand Prix. A commanding drive from Leroy. Skeven there finishes in second, but through penalties Flavel jumps him, so maybe that's why, Jamie, they didn't switch positions. Legend there will finish in 5th place, but he's jumped by Unknown through penalties.
Good race for Unknown.
And Clone finishes in 6th, but as a ghost car, but Slater will take the car anyway to the line to 6th place. So I'm wondering if that position is going to count for Clone. Then Praga finishes in 8th place. Bag of Bones here, looking to try and go for the fastest lap of the race. So the fastest lap inside the top 10 is going to Jonas Ulbricht at the moment. The fastest lap time outside of the top 10 is with Z3. Here is Bag of Bones then, coming around the final corner. Is there a chance then for the Haas driver to try and snatch that fastest lap of the race point away from Jonas Ulbricht? No, he can't.
Missed out by a 10th.
Well, that is Ulbricht then missing managing to retain his fastest lap of the race point. Z3 will come across the line in 11th place, and a race that could have been for the Mercedes driver, as Minty then will finish in 11th place. But your race winner for the first ever time in One Hub Racing, Leroy takes the checkered flag in France.
Yeah, just an impressive drive from him. Obviously, the pole position it was a tough competitive qualifying. Obviously, we had Foxy set a really good lap, but Leroy managed to peg him there, and at the race he took control. It was a bit of pressure start from Rob, but he held on, and he never looked back from there. He pulled a nice gap in the first stint, and then made that decision for the medium tyre, which was an inspired decision, and held on in the end. And he also had less penalties than the guys around him. So just all round an impressive drive, and a good result for the McLarens, the second and third. And Ollie crucially gets ahead of his teammate.
Yeah, that's going to do his championship bid a world of good there. So here are your official, unofficial results. And Leroy takes his first win in One Hub Racing. Flavel in second, Skeven in third, with Unknown in fourth, Legend in fifth, with Slater in sixth, Clone in seventh, Praga in eighth, Bag of Bones in ninth, and Albrecht rounds out the top 10 and gets the fast lap of the race inside the top 10. So that's an extra point. He draws level on points with Bag of Bones. It's Foxy in 11th place, but he was a ghost car for the majority of this race. Minty in 12th, and Z3 with penalties down to 13th, although a plus point for him is he did grab the fastest lap of the point, or fastest lap of the race outside of the top 10. Now then, Jamie, the bit where we're seemingly controversial on, but it's time to pick your driver of the day. We're going to be wrong anyway. Pick away, Jamie.
Well, he said them two guys were... Well, I'm going to go with something completely different. I'm going to go with Unknown for 4th place in the back of the grid. Under a lot of pressure, and he drove a really good clean race from the back of the grid to get 4th place. So I'm going to go with him.
Yeah, it's a tough call for me between Leroy and Skeven. Of course, Leroy had a commanding performance, held off any overtake attempts going into turns 1 and 2. The instance happened behind him. He drove his race and made those medium tyres last. But I have to say, what a performance from Skeven there. He managed to finish in 3rd place there from, I believe, that was P17. So a really good performance from him. Well, I'm going to be wrong anyway, so I might as well pick. I'm going to pick Skeven as my driver of the day.
Yeah, and I think we both agree that that Leroy was a. If we had the third nomination, we had Leroy in there, but we couldn't have Tim, I'm afraid. So sorry, Leroy, but it's a tough call, and we'll probably get slated for that. But anyway,
we have done since the start of the season, Jamie. I wouldn't. It's not going to change, I don't think.
No.
But if you'd like to pick a driver of the day, be my guest, and then we can slate you for it. Anyway, well, Austria next week then, Jamie. A much shorter track, high octane, not long the track as well. The race should be done in about 40 minutes. So.
Yeah, it's a quick, short track. Obviously, the qualifying session there, I think that'd be interesting because it'd be a really, really tight session, and mistakes will cost you 3 or 4 rows on the grid, because I expect the whole grid to be separate by about a second there, so that the qualifying will keep it close, and the race as well. Rain's a possibility in Austria as well, so that could spice things up. We haven't had much rain this season, so we might have a wet race next week.
And I just want to say, it's so unlucky for Janul. Obviously qualified in 3rd place, never took the start through connection issues, so a huge shame for him. And you could tell in the chat he was very, very annoyed, and that's an understatement. So hopefully he'll be back for the Austrian Grand Prix, and hopefully you will be back for the Austrian Grand Prix. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and make sure you're subscribed to One Hub Racing. It's at One Hub Racing. You can also follow the league sponsor at Next LVL Racing. You can follow me whilst you're there as well at KSMCGF1, and you can also follow Jamie whilst you're there as well at JamieMet92. Well then, Jamie, that was a bit of an eventful French Grand Prix. 2 championship leaders taking each other out, and possibly, I haven't worked this out yet, but let me have a quick look at some championship standings. So Flavel finished in 2nd, which means he gets 18 points. So now he's within 2 points of Leon. But we have a new championship. Do we have a new? No, we don't. But no. Leon just about holds on.
Yeah. So, but it's tight, close right up, and now he comes to these more traditional tracks. It's going to be really interesting. Obviously, we've got Austria and Silverstone, then Germany, Hungary, and you know, this is the real meat and bones of the season. This is where championships are made and lost, in my view.
And hopefully you'll join us for the next time we go racing in the Austrian Grand Prix. Make sure you now tune into the Prestige tier. I believe they're just coming to the end of qualifying. They've got a couple of minutes to go, so make sure you join them. You're not too late for that one. And hopefully we have as good as a race as we had in the Pinnacle tier here today. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching tonight's stream. I've been Kieran McGinley.
I've been Jerry Metcalf.
Take care of yourselves, and we will see you next time.
Good night.